next matchup features two quarterbacks who will be trying to lead their team to victory. It's the Lions going up against the Dolphins. So with kickoff approaching, let's send it over to our commentators here this afternoon, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in one of America's finest cities, Miami, Florida. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Detroit Lions and the Miami Dolphins. Hi again, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And you know, Charles, as Larry pointed out in the open, got a couple of great quarterbacks set to square off here this afternoon. That ball's probably going to be flying all over the place, isn't it?
Oh, without a doubt. And the game has never been more quarterback-centric than it is now. And both of these teams have top-flight signal callers.
Here's the punter, Sam Martin, now ready to get us started. And we are underway from Miami. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And there is Ryan Tannehill bringing out the Miami Dolphins, finishing the season just shy of 3,000 yards. Touchdowns, 12 picks, Charles. Unable to play, of course, in the playoff game. Had to be hard for him to sit that one out.
Had to be very hard for him because I thought he finished the season with a flourish. And this was a monster year for Ryan Tannehill in his development as an NFL quarterback. And I thought he passed the test. And I think 2017, he's eager for it, as is his head coach, Adam Gase. We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
Here's the first carry for Kenyon Drake. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there. Second down. To throw on second down is Tannehill. Escaping the pressure right. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Kenny Stills, the intended receiver, and it's third down. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion. So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. Here's Tannehill. Flush, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Ziggy Ansah, he's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down. Well, they went with the nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down, you bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
So on 4th down, the Dolphins will ask Matt Darr to kick it away. Back deep for the Lions, it's Golden Tate. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. So Matthew Stafford brings out the Detroit Lions, and the season over after a loss to Seattle in the first round of the playoffs. But you look at the totality of the year, Matthew Stafford. Middle of the season, certainly people were talking MVP, Charles. Over 4,300 yards, 24 touchdown passes as well.
And deservedly so, because not only was he playing really well, he was actually having to do things without all of his weapons. He had guys in and out of the lineup due to injuries. He was adjusting to new receivers. And guess what? He was winning big games in the 4th quarter. It almost became a regular occurrence. I thought he had a heck of a season and something really big to build on for next year.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. So the Lions go backwards there, and unfortunately that's something they saw a lot in 2015. They had the fewest rushing yards of any team in the NFL.
It's one of those dubious titles that no one really wants to claim. Even teams who say, well, I'll worry about running it because we throw it all the time. Being able to run it when you want to is a key to success in the NFL, and Detroit struggled doing that.
Well, this past season was tough for Abdullah. Foot injury costing him the last 14 games of the year, and that was a big blow. They could never really get that running game going, could they? It
changed everything for them because Theo Riddick, who is his backup, is really a third down back, the guy that they want to use out of the backfield to catch passes in open space. He had to become more of a runner, and I think that limited his effectiveness at doing what he does best. Amir Abdullah was drafted to be their lead runner. If they keep him healthy, that'll help the Lions offense in 2017.
So on fourth down, here's Sam Martin to punt it away for Detroit. The dangerous Jarvis Landry back for Miami. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. And out come the Dolphins now. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over.
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. And wow, now we got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
Right back to Drake. And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first. Let's see what the defense dials up here. 3rd and 4. Here's Tannehill. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. On the return, it's Tate. Oh, he slipped right by him. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And ready to go for another offensive series. Out comes Detroit, and a Detroit team that, boy, lost in the playoffs this year. Don't have a playoff win since 1992. But it was a tough end of the season. There were injuries involved. And I know you think that this is a crew that really could make some noise again next year, don't you?
I do, because I think they gained so much confidence this season, battling back from a tough beginning, working their way into where they looked like they had a chance to win the division. And while they didn't do that, they did get into the playoffs. Despite a myriad of injuries, they think this team has a bright future, and they feel confident about 2017.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Alone to the right is Jones. To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. Ebron with it over the middle. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Short of the sticks after that completion, and now it's 3rd down for this offense. Well run here. Abdullah. Ooh, with a juke. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
How many times do we say in this game is speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways. In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. And that led to a really nice game.
They go back to Abdullah on 1st. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
So not much to speak of scoring-wise in this first quarter of play. 0-0 our score, and we'll be back to South Florida after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Head & Shoulders. Shoulders were made for greatness, not dandruff.
Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out. On 2nd down, here's Stafford. And he hits his tight end, Ebron. And down inside the 15 he goes. It's a gain of 14 down to the 14.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
On 1st down, Abdullah. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Again, it's Abdullah. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Amir Abdullah taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Lions are in for 6. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Now Matt Prater for the point after. It's up, it's good, and the Lions lead 7-0. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So now here come the Dolphins. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle.
And Sims lost it. He lost the football. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
For someone who piled up the yardage that Jay Ajayi did in 2016, I think it was a strange type of a year. How many runners do you know that will end the season with more 200-yard games on the ground than 100-yard games and end up over 1,000?
Very, very strange. 3 200-yard games, just 1 100-yard game. All in all, though, how do you see a season? A rough start, but looked pretty good in the end.
Rough start, but a really good offensive line that continues to grow. I think the future's really bright for Jay Ajayi and the Dolphins next season.
Big boys down there in the trenches, and a nice play to stop them cold. Nothing there.
Yeah, when you talk about big boys, you're talking about those defensive tackles, those nose tackles. They're not just big, they're immense. And what a big-time play there.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but For the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Muscles him off. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. They were in the 4-3. Mike linebacker made a great tackle.
And when that happens, generally it means that the guys up front, the 4 down defensive linemen, have absorbed all the blockers and allowed him to run free to the football. He ends up with a textbook tackle.
Brought in over the middle by Grant. That catch good for 5. It's third down. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Here's Tannehill. Now no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Ezekiel Ansah in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. Tannehill staying out there. They're going to go on 4th down. They're going to go. It's Tannehill. Oh, the ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
Well, it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Larry Ridley is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Now Stafford caught right side. Tate. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And this is away, and I don't think Landry will get a chance to return here. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Well, he just threw an interception last drive, nearly another pick.
And things aren't very even right now, are they? It's a little bit sloppy out there, isn't it? It's kind of the difference between driving on those paved roads and those country roads that have those potholes in them, isn't it? That's the way this game's going right now. A lot of bouncy-bounce to it.
You spent some time on some Tennessee country roads.
I certainly have. Plenty of family back there. God love them. I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he was able to bat it away.
So a 3rd and 10, and defensively, a dime look. 6 DBs. Being chased out left. And he finds Stills, complete. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Tannehill on 1st down. Steps away to his left. Now he's going to go deep down the left side. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
But depending on the team, they call that an explosive play or a chunk play. The one that they got on the previous one, they tried to go back and get another one, didn't they?
They did, but unsuccessful on that second attempt. Back to the air. Tannehill on second down. Forced out to his left. The pass complete to Justin Hunter. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Tannehill sliding out of the pocket. And he rifles one incomplete. He was trying to get that one to Kenny Stills. And now it's 2nd down.
He's thrown one interception already, and that doesn't necessarily mean the rest of the game is going to go like that. But it does seem that he's a little bit off in his approach to this one.
Yeah, it does, and that was a risky throw right there.
Got to be careful about taking care of the ball, making sure you get back within yourself. I mean, those mechanics that they work on all the time, they're there for a reason. Kind of get back to those and maybe tamp it down a little bit.
No, he almost had it. Already with one interception, just missing his second there.
The name of the game, as always on defense, put pressure on the quarterback. And that's exactly what they've done today. It looks like they've got him a little bit rattled. That would have been the second interception in the first half.
Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. Flush to his right. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
And Stills over the middle. It'll be a gain of 15 on the play. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks. And they're going to speed things up here. Here's Tannehill. And almost intercepted. It would have been his second pick of the game. Instead, it'll be 2nd down.
A pretty rocky start in this game for the guy throwing the ball. Already has thrown one interception. Almost threw a second one right there. All he's doing right now is giving the defense a whole lot of confidence.
Over the middle, able to find Carew. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down. Tannehill now to throw. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. Down here in the red zone, you know your tight end's going to be a favorite target. Couldn't hang on.
And sometimes they just have to get out of their own head because they understand how tight windows are there and how many bodies are there. And sometimes they just overthink it and don't catch the ball.
So we have reached halftime with the visiting Lions taking the lead to the break. As we check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando, he's standing by with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon. Thanks, Charles. And welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. Both the Dolphins and the Lions are having some trouble moving the ball through the air. The yardage totals are low, and that's helped play into what was a low-scoring first half. All right, let's do this. Here's the first half highlights. Dolphins have the football midway through the second. The pass is complete near the sideline, and it's going to end up going for a gain of 12. Dolphins end up throwing a pick to win the drive. 3rd down at the 21. Tannehill's going to scramble and complete the pass, and the play will come to an end after a gain of 25. So that'll do it for us here in Orlando. For the call of the second half, let's hand it back over to Brandon and Charles. Brandon.
So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had an ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Play fake to Abdullah. It's Stafford. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Fresh set of downs here. On first down, it's Stafford. Surveying the field. To the right side to Eric Ebron. A gain of 6 there on first.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
The second down run for Abdullah. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Ah, yes, that's today's NFL defensive tackle. Not just a space eater anymore. A guy with agility, movement skills, who can rush the passer and make plays in the offensive backfield.
From the gun on third down, Stafford. Out to the flat for Riddick. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Theo Riddick, 31 yards. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. Here comes Grant on the return. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And this one's incomplete.
And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the second half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it.
3rd and 5, so they bring in an extra defensive back.
An expecting pass. Now Tannehill. And this is going to be incomplete. He was trying to get it to Jay Ajayi there out of the backfield. Now 4th down.
I remember growing up playing basketball. My coaches always talked about communicating on defense, making sure you talk on defense, know where your screens are, know where the cuts are coming from, who has who. Well, guess what? It's the same thing in football. All the screams of screen, screen. This defense, the bench, everyone let them know what the play was, and that's why they were able to react and knock the ball away.
I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
Now a first down throw, Tannehill. Eluding the pressure right. And some room to maneuver. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 4 yards on the pickup, and it's a second down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Tannehill escaping the pressure right. And he slings one that's incomplete. Deion Sims is tight end, the intended target. And now it's third down.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Defense sinking pass. They've got the nickel set out on 3rd and 6. Now Tannehill. And he's unable to haul it in, so it falls incomplete over the middle third of the field, and that brings up 4th.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
They're going to go. It's Tannehill. Buying time to his left. It's complete to Grant. Give him 23 yards on the pickup, and they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you're probably going to have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. And he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. Ajayi hit. He lost the football. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them pass it, has it? I mean, they dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback and the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in the running game, and they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got to a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. He got 29 yards that time. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Abdullah. And a solid run down inside the 30. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Not an ideal spot to be on first down, but I love that the play caller did not immediately abandon the running game and say, okay, we've got to throw it in order to pick it up. Stayed with the run, was rewarded with a big-time pickup. Now they're in 2nd and manageable.
And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. Back now in Miami. It's the Lions holding onto the football, and they also have the lead as we start quarter number 4. Stafford gives to Abdullah. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a...
And Abdullah lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
Holding offense.
Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on third down. Throwing on third down, Stafford. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. So they're operating in the red zone. They'll come out in the pistol. First and goal here from the 9. They'll try to run it in with Abdullah. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Amir Abdullah, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Lions add on to their lead. Not only touchdown number 2 for him, but a big run to boot. However, still trailing.
Still trailing, but not because of his efforts. Boy, he's playing really well, and I love his long speed there, right? Able to get out there and burst all the way to the end zone, and smart enough to keep the ball in his hands and get into the end zone for the touchdown. In 2016, on all levels of football, we're seeing guys drop it before the goal line. What's the rule, Brandon? Run into the goalpost.
That's right.
Before you drop
taught
the
me
ball.
that.
There you go.
So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it's Amir Abdullah that finishes it off with a touchdown run. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, and pushed it past the 50-yard line so they thought they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? And over the middle, this is Parker. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Tannehill on first down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
You gotta give some credit there, able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
And there's a good opportunity that just went awry there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
Throwing on third down, Tannehill. And the third down pass falls incomplete. Devontae Parker was the intended receiver. And that'll bring up a fourth down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Now it's Tannehill. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And it is incomplete. The Dolphins can't convert on 4th down. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
Then confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves them with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Back to throw. Stafford. He hits Riddick underneath. And the athleticism on the spin move allows him to pick up the first before he's brought down.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. Now Stafford hands to Abdullah. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
They go with Abdullah again. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in. On the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2. And this defense looks for one more stop here on 3rd after the run.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day. And that's understanding where the markers are, because it's not just running to them. Because on the catch, you can actually be pushed back before the first down. It's getting past it and allowing that opportunity to drift back towards the first down line and still having picked it up. Really well run.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. And with that, we sign off from Miami.